It's kind of like now it gets to the point that the conversation is
No, I mean, look,
down.
I'll be honest. Like, I asked you a very simple question about interwar period. You know what the Darnells is with Churchill, and so I don't take what you say that seriously.
My expertise has to do with the policy of appeasement.
Secondly, I reject the entire premise of just looking at everything through the interwar period, because what have they called Donald Trump since day one? They've called him Hitler, and they've called every one of us that wear these hats and these red hats Nazis. And it is so ridiculous, and it's so repulsive, and it's so insulting. Instead, as a historian, you should not just try to find similarities. You have an obligation to find differences. Say, how is Trump different than the interwar period? How is Trump different than Adolf Hitler? Can you tell me 3 ways he's different?
I can give you 100 ways in which he's different.
Okay, but then you came up here with just the similarities.
Would you like me to have come up here and talked about all the similarities? Or, I mean, is this conversation supposed to prove me wrong?
Again, yes, they were both, men with XY chromosomes. And, you could go through all the the similarities.
Right, and that's making a trite argument there.
But this is really important, is that our current... We are prisoners of the talking points of that everything bad is Hitler and everything bad is Nazi Germany.
that way. I just despise.
No, but you're actively playing into it. Instead, as a historian, what you should be saying
you're not even allowing me to ask the question.
Allow me to finish. Instead, as a historian, what you should be saying is, I know this period than anybody else better. And I think it's ridiculous when people even get close to asking these questions.
Sure.
You are failing as a historian
Let me tell
not to lead people towards that.
There's a big difference.
You are failing as a professor not to do that.
Because if a student walks into my class...
Let me tell you why. I'm going to finish. Because all of a sudden it justifies violence and death threats against us because the left is propagandized by professors like you being told that we are Nazis all the time. And they come after us.
I haven't called anyone here a Nazi whatsoever.
Everything you have said is the embedded through line.
If my student walks into my class and starts pointing everything at fascist, I provide that correction. You did point out this is my area of expertise, and you won't even allow me to ask the question and make the comparison.
No, we allowed you to do it, and then you said, here's all the similarities, and it's a great grave of concern.
I have not given one criticism to your character or to your intelligence. I've been up here, and you've done it multiple times to me.
I'm not taking money from kids to go them study history at the University of Florida. I don't have a PhD, and you do. Okay, so the incumbent intellectual advantage is on you. You have a PhD. I do not. You have a moral obligation when kids go into debt into your class and when you have a public platform to lead them towards saying, actually, no, the people in media are misrepresenting this. And this isn't actually the rise of Nazi Germany. Instead, you're like, well, we should consider this. And the similarities are kind of eerily and chilling, which is complete nonsense.
This is my area of study. But I do have one thing, and I'll go ahead. And I do appreciate your time. I do. I remember during the election night in November, I sat back and I I was going through YouTube channel because you thought it was a restoration of the Judeo-Christian values that are inherent to the Constitution.
Let me tell you why, because I think you might appreciate this as a historian. Joe Biden sent the entire federal government after Turning Point USA and me personally.